Good afternoon. It's Sunday, a snowy Sunday here in southeastern Michigan. So Katie will be here momentarily. Yep, and we are going to be talking about something other than horror films. That's right. We decided to do something fun and something different. Me and Katie and a lot of us, I think there is a lot more than people realize. Um, there are a lot of us that out there that watch other things other than horror and action and violence and all that other jazz. A lot of times we like to kick back and watch something gentle, something peaceful.
Hey,
There's Katie.
how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good.
I thought maybe
Sorry, I
you got.
was a little late. I had to take care of something real fast.
Oh, no problem. Hi, Betty. How are you?
Hi, buddy.
I was just saying that you and and actually, I do think there are a lot more of us out there than not that don't always watch horror films or action and adventure films, martial arts or anything like that. Sometimes there's something to be said to put on and watch a comedy or watch a family drama or
Hmm.
movies with pets in them or that sort of thing. Romance. Sure, we all
Right.
love that. A good drama is great. Uh, wow, look who's back! Holy crow!
Hey, buddy.
Hi, brother of a certain age. I gotta get his first name. I don't know why. I keep on calling.
Brother from a
I should
certain
know. I
age.
should know that. And of course, our good friend SL7, Star Lord 7. I think it is. I think it is. Is it SL7? What's the SL stand for again? I know I should know that, but I'm old, so I should be forgiven. Uh, I should be. So yeah, we you and I have talked about this a couple of times too, because you're a big
Mhm.
Disney.
Yeah, I'm a big Disney fan.
I mean, you're huge into Disney. Greetings, no more monsters. I do believe that is our good friend Echo.
I know
Welcome
more
me. I
monsters.
think he's under disguise. It's okay to come in underneath your.
Hmm.
It's all right to come underneath your normal name. You're in a safe spot. You're still horror tuber of the month. Hello, Clock Family Adventures. Greetings, greetings. So
Hello,
yeah,
everybody. Welcome
you,
in.
huh?
I said hello, everybody. Welcome in.
I know this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought for sure it might be just you and me talking against the wall, but I think there may be Matthew. Matthew, welcome back, Matthew. Matthew was a regular when I first started Eight Questions with, and then we haven't seen him for a while, but glad to see him back now. Um, so you watch a ton of Disney. I mean, I like
I watch
Disney
a little
too.
bit of everything, really, but yeah, I watch a ton of Disney. Well, lately I haven't really been watching Disney because there hasn't really been any new movies out for Disney, but the last Disney movie I watched was just Enchanted, and then the new cartoon movie that was on about Nash what is that?
Oh,
Ben
National
Stiller,
Treasure.
not National Treasure, Night at the Museum. They have a new one on the Night at the Museum. It's like a cartoon.
Oh, okay. I never
It's
even
like
heard
a
of that.
cartoon movie.
It's funny. It's like, once you said that about there's not a lot of Disney, to watch, there really hasn't been, has there?
Mm-mm.
Not in the traditional sense.
Nope. So
Um,
I've watched everything pretty much on Disney Plus because I even watched the new episode of Bad Batch came out. I just finished Andor, and so I'm waiting for the new season of Mando to come out and Ahsoka to come out. So there's nothing
See, those
really.
are those are all aimed toward action adventure. There's no more like Enchanted or Frosted or
You
or
mean
any of
you mean
that.
Frozen?
Frozen. I mean, there's really not anything like that. Now that Winnie the Pooh is gone into the public domain, there's no more Winnie the Pooh type of
Mhm.
movies. Um, it's Disney used to count on you used to count on
Right.
every in summer and during the winter time. There's always something family oriented on Disney, but
Right.
not really, not for the last 3 4 years, maybe even since they took over Marvel. Um, let's see, well, Pixar, except for Pixar, now they got Pixar, and then
Yeah.
Pixar just keeps on. They're
Hmm.
trying, but I mean, I know they've done some sequels. I know they did another Toy Story sequel. They did a Buzz
Right.
Lightyear prequel, but not really a lot of original content like they used to,
Right.
like we expected. Um, but you know what? That seems to be everywhere though, um,
Yeah, it
except
does.
for two places. Um, except for Hallmark Channel and for Great American Family. Um,
Hmm.
they have, you know, Hallmark was run by a gentleman named Bill Elliott,
Right.
and and of course Hallmark, you know, completely, they took over the Christmas movies. Once they started doing Christmas, they just blew up. They started doing Christmas
Hmm.
movies, and then about a year and a half ago, a couple of years ago, year and a half ago, um, Hallmark announced that they were going to be doing more inclusive films. They were going to be including, instead of just every movie featuring a white cast, they were going to start doing movies, holiday movies uh, uh, with gay couples, African American families, Jewish families,
Yep. They have
blended families.
this past Christmas they did a lot.
They did. Bill Elliott, once they were told that, he left Hallmark and he went over to Great America,
Hmm.
and then he took a page from the old days of Hollywood back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, where Hollywood studios used to have their actors under contract. You would sign a contract for Universal for 6 or 7 years, and you were underneath their control. You were going to only make content exclusively for that studio. You
Right.
could either do a movie or you could do TV, but you were underneath their control. But the old studio system faded away uh, in the 60s.
Hmm.
And we haven't seen anything like that until now when Great American started signing stars from Hallmark to exclusive contracts.
Right.
So we started seeing the old studio system sort of come back as you can only do this sort of content for us, nobody else.
Right.
Um, and so, and then of course, this past winter, Candace Cameron Bure was being interviewed, and she said that JC was going to be doing the traditional American film.
Hmm.
Basically, they were going to do all white people, men and women, and not doing anything else.
Right.
Um, Sort of got called out on that.
Mm.
Um, Hallmark had record-breaking year this year. They absolutely crushed everybody trying to do Christmas. Their numbers were just amazingly strong. Um, but it's sort of sad to see two channels that are aimed for the family
Hmm.
some get caught up in I guess sort of I mean, you haven't heard it called a feud per se,
Right.
uh, but it sort of is. You know,
Yeah. I think it's going that way.
one
They
actor,
just keep it
yeah,
hush hush. Whatever happens, they just kind of keep it hush hush.
one actor that was starring with Candace Cameron Bure. I guess they were doing a movie called Drive-In Santa or something like that. Well, he was supposed to he was supposed to promote the show,
Hmm.
the movie he was in for GAC, but after Candice Bure came out there and said what she said, he basically said, "Screw that! I'm not promoting this movie, and I'm not working for you anymore." and he says,
Right.
I'm not in. And so, um, it, it's a, it's sort of a tricky mess. But the point I was trying to make was that both those companies, especially Hallmark, not GAC so much as of yet, but I'm sure they
Mhm.
will. But whereas a lot of studios are shrinking their home release window, as far as what they release to the, direct to video,
Right.
a lot of them are shrinking, except for Hallmark is expanding.
Right.
Hallmark is actually out there actively releasing movies.
Mm-hmm. They are. Yep.
Uh,
I'm
they are
sure. I'm
going.
sure before soon, the newer episodes. I mean, the newer movies to The Wedding Veil will be released. I'm sure it's on
I'm
Amazon. But
sure they will. They have gone back to before the Hallmark Channel was the Hallmark Channel per se. Some of people my age, they might remember on TV where Hallmark actually released 2 or 3 films a year, um, and some powerful films. Some really, Hallmark Channel used to not. A lot of people would just see them as Christmas, but
right.
Hallmark movies released a lot of great films. Um, I mean, their pedigree, their library is incredible. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
um, they released some amazing films, some amazing miniseries uh, before they got their channel. They did action and adventure. They did like Marco Polo. Um, just they did Hall of Fame. They did a very well known movie called My Name is Bill W. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Another one called I think My Brother's Keepers with James Wood and James Garner that that won tons of honors. Um, they used to call it Hallmark Hall of Fame, and they used to air on CBS and ABC and once in a blue moon NBC.
Right.
Don't think they ever aired on Fox because I think they didn't release anything. And they sort of got when the TV movie as we know it
Right.
got pushed out. I mean, TV used to be network. The studios used to make movies. NBC, ABC, CBS. They used to make movies, TV movies, and
They
they
still
don't.
do a little bit, but not as much anymore.
No, it's actually refreshing to see, Katie, is that the networks actually made original Christmas movies this year.
Yep.
Yes, in fact, one of the guests that we had on Eight Questions with Paul Green, he did a Christmas movie on CBS this year.
Nice.
Uh,
That's awesome.
I just dropped the name. I dropped the. I
It's
should.
okay. It happens.
Do I have to pay a nickel to every time I name drop? I drop a nickel in the bucket.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's okay.
What if I drop the link in the chat?
Mm-hmm.
um, but you and I, we liked Hallmark movies. We talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
I reviewed I reviewed several on my blog. I actually the first Christmas movie, first Hallmark movie I reviewed was Christmas Melody, A Christmas Melody with Lacey Chabert and
Mm-hmm.
um, Brendan Elliott and Mariah Carey. Um, and then I did a movie. I reviewed the number one movie that I reviewed on my blog, even to today, even till today. It's a movie called A Country Wedding with Autumn Reeser and Jesse Metcalf.
That one's a good one. I like that one.
I love that one too. Um, but I still say to this day, the reason why that movie is so popular is because of that wig.
No, right?
That wig should have got a movie of its own.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hello, Michigan Carol.
I'm Michigan Carol.
Uh, yes, we are talking Hallmark movies today. We will be talking about the first Wedding Veil trilogy that was released back in 2022. Oh, look at even porn sites like Hallmark movies.
Oh, Bones got it before I just got it.
Bones is Bones is a savage with a wrench. Thanks, Bones. Um, yeah, so it came out last year, and I thought this was really cool. Is that like,
I just rewatched The Wedding Veil because I knew we were going to talk about it today, so I just rewatched it.
well, I watched it, and I gotta be honest with you. Now this would be the first time I've seen Allison Sweeney. Um, doing this is the first time I saw her on Hallmark. I know that she's done a lot of movies for them. I know the
She has done
Autumn.
a lot of them.
Yes. In fact, they were doing that. See, Matthew's asking if Pat has blood claws on my hat. No, no blood claws. That's a tiger.
Hey, Casey.
Hi, Casey. Um, how many Hallmark movies do you have in your personal collection so far, Katie?
I don't have any.
Oh, we gotta fix that.
I just have it. I just watch it on the Hallmark Channel. I like DVR a lot of them, so I can
Okay.
watch them. And then also now, if people have Peacock, Peacock now owns Hallmark or does like some kind of subscription with the Hallmark. So if you have the Peacock streaming app, you can also watch the movies and the shows on there as well.
Nice.
And
Nice.
the good thing about Peacock though is they have it in Spanish and English.
No, I'm not so sure that see, I'm not so sure GAC would I wonder if they have that on
They,
there. I keep asking them when they're going to do their home releases too, because
Mhm.
I'm interested. I'm interested in seeing how their movies go.
Right.
They have a lot of talent on that side of the fence. And I think it just sucks though that they forced these actors who have done a lot of movies together. A
Mhm.
lot of these actors work together on
Well,
Hallmark movies are suddenly being told, they're being offered a lot of money, but also
mhm.
they're being told that they can either be on one side or the other. I just really find that sort of sad.
Right.
Um,
I
you know,
I know that now since Cameron Candice Bure quit or what however you say her name is um that now Lacey's like the main face of Hallmark now.
yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, she's definitely the face of the network now.
Mhm.
But and I thought it was really smart that they paired together their three top stars because this probably is the three top stars they have now
Yeah.
in Lacey and Autumn and Allison Sweeney. Um, and then they came up with the wedding veil.
Right.
Um,
And then they did their except for the guy that's from Italy, that guy, but the other two guys are really famous on Hallmark. That new guy that Autumn
Paulo,
Racer like marries in the second one,
right?
he's new, but the other
He is
two
new. The other two, Kevin McGarry, who was paired up with Lacey, and Victor Webster, who's been paired up with Allison Sweeney. Yes, they have done several Hallmark movies before. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, and that was going to the first movie of the Wedding Veil trilogy. I didn't know what to expect. All I know is that, hey, there he is. The friendly men are in the house.
They
Thank
friendly
you,
men.
thank you. Mr. Bone says Candace has her own family movie channel now.
Yep.
Yes, actually, GAC is pretty much her channel. She is running it. She's running a lot of it. You're right.
I
You're
haven't seen
absolutely
any
right.
of those movies on there yet
I
because
have not either.
I don't have the channel that it's on. So because I have YouTube TV, so I watch a lot of YouTube TV. So it's a streaming platform. If you don't have cable, you can go on YouTube TV. So they don't have it on there. So I haven't watched anything from there.
Yeah, yeah, they have not. They're still struggling to get out there. Uh, uh, uh,
So then how did people watch their movies?
yes, we definitely love all sorts of fun movies here. Me and Katie, yeah, we love because her and I talk a lot about different types of non-horror films and everything else, and so we thought this would actually be a lot of fun to talk about about this because I was looking to buy it. I was actually looking to buy this trilogy, and it was still just a little bit out of my range. And then Katie came in and says, "Well, I'm gonna hook you up." And I said, "Katie," and then she says, "I just hooked you up." And I'm going like, "Thank you, Katie." And then it came, and then I watched and reviewed it. My reviews are actually on my channel, but I do want to talk about this a little bit more because this is such a if you're new to Hallmark, if you've never watched any Hallmark movies, and believe me, you and me and Katie both can agree on this, I think. Like we like the Christmas movies as much as anybody, but honestly, their Christmas movies are pretty much always the same. The only thing that makes the Christmas movies stand out when they do is who they put in the cast. It's sort of like it's
Mhm.
one plot, and all they do is they just interchange the actors. That's really all they do for the Christmas movies. And
Mhm.
it's okay, but a little of that goes a really long way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree. Do I
Um,
the friendly man is asking me, does Katie listen to the group Black Pink? I don't know who that is.
uh, yeah, Blackpink. That's a good question. I don't even know who Blackpink is. See, Echo's trying to. Echo says, "I need a 24 hat." You
Hmm.
know, let's see. Yeah, I actually I made a playlist on my letterbox. I made a letterbox group, a letterbox list of my A24s, and I have 38 of them.
Oh wow.
So
Oh, it's a K-pop group. Oh, well, my nickname is from my friend Carrie. I'm popping the popcorn. If you see me in the chat, that's me. But I go by Katie, Killer Katie, or K-pop. One of my friends that's in another movie like genre. Well, everybody in this community knows her too, but she's one of my good friends, and she always calls me K-pop. So that's what it is. That's why I named my name K-pop. In case any of you guys were wondering.
I know they're gonna give me poo for this.
But
So yeah,
I know some K-pop, I just don't know the band's names because I don't really listen to it.
mhm.
But
Yeah,
what
I don't. I just know that they're I just know that K-pops are really popular. Um,
they are. I mean, like I do like some of the K-pop. I just don't know the bands just because I don't listen to it like that often. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's on Spotify and I have it on at work, I'll listen to it. You know what I mean?
I've never even. God, I hate to say this, but I mean, I don't really listen to a lot of commercial radio, so I don't really know these bands. I guess good.
With Spotify, you could pay for non-commercials, and they have channels and podcasts on there, and all
Yeah, I
kinds of
have
stuff.
Spotify. I have a Spotify. I have a two different lists on there. I have a music list, songs,
Mhm.
and then I have a movie score list.
Yep,
And
I do too.
yeah, uh, yes. See, stick to the classics. Yeah, I gotta get. Yeah, I don't really listen to a lot of classics. I actually listen to stuff I remember growing up with, but I don't mind stretching out to listen to new stuff. Sort of like this, like Hallmark Channel. Like I never had I never got a single Hallmark movie until I was at the Family Video, and they had like a 10 for 10 sale,
Mhm.
and I don't know what possessed it me other than I just it was something new, something I'd never seen before. And I remember grabbing the first one with Lacey and Brendan Elliott. And um, so I grabbed that one and I was like, okay.
Right.
And then next
Mhm.
thing I know, I saw the next movie I saw from Hallmark was
Mhm.
one with Kristen Davis and Shirley
Mhm.
MacLaine, and then the one with Autumn Reeser, A Country Wedding. And then after that, then I just started every time I saw them, I would start buying them
Right.
up. And
Um, yeah, I agree with you. I was gonna say, oh, that's awesome, friendly man. They play K-pop concerts in the theaters over there. That's really cool. And then Michigan Carol saying, I love the idea of getting the disc for the Hallmark because the can't commercials kill the Hallmark channel.
yeah, they
And
actually do. They
well,
do.
if you have Peacock, if you have the streaming Peacock channel, You can watch Hallmark and there is no commercials on them. You can watch all the Hallmark movies, most of them are there, and there's no commercials.
What I'm really bummed out about that too is this. There's two ways of looking at this. To me, it's like one of the things that Hallmark could do to make their movies more user friendly is the fact that for one thing, the movies have gone down. Before they'd be like 91, 92 minutes. Now it's
Mhm.
down to 84. And there's no reason for that now because now they have their own service. And I think what they should do, one of the things they don't do at all,
Mhm.
they charge the normal price. So why not do a little bit more for the people who are buying them? And that is
Right.
put extra features on it.
Mhm.
You could put deleted scenes or what have you, or you could put the TV version
Right.
or the streaming or the streaming service version on here. But they are cutting into it now. Like I said, every movie is now 84 minutes, and you throw in your credits, and it's like
Mhm.
two, and it's pretty thin um, right now. So
Right.
but I wish they would put some extra features on the movies, especially when you do a special series like the Wedding Trilogy. These are your
Mhm.
three big stars right here.
Yeah,
We
they
want
are.
to know how, like, I mean, we like especially the middle film of the Wedding Veil
Mhm.
Unveiled. They went over to Italy to film that. They took some, and for the
Yeah.
second trilogy, they went to Greece.
Mhm.
So they
Yeah.
spent the money on the movie to make the movie. To me, it's like what would be really cool if they put some extras on the back of their films,
Mhm.
behind the scenes, deleted scenes, interviews, whatnot. I
Well,
think that would
I
make it a much
know
more.
I know if you go to their Instagram, you can actually see some of the behind the scenes things because I follow them on Instagram. So I did go look at that and that was pretty cool. You just have to follow like Lacey and all of them and they did show some pictures from when they were in Greece
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt for them to put it on the disc.
and some of the pictures from when they were on Italy for the second one
Yeah,
as well.
um, let's see.
Yeah.
Carol says she works in an assisted living facility. They eat up the Hallmark Channel. They need something simple and pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, should that be so hard? No, it should not be.
No.
No. No, I
Um
mean, I mean, that's what I mean, as far as the Christmas movies go, I mean, I understand that, I do. Um, like, I totally understand that and I agree with that. And this was one thing about the Hallmark Channel that really sparkles is the fact that they have such a deeper library, is that as
mhm.
soon as, like they start Christmas movies early. They start them like October,
No, they
and it's
even
like,
they
huh?
they start them. No, they start them in October, but they're actually filming them right
Right
now
now.
or in the
Yeah.
springtime.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy watching a star will sit there and say, "All right, we're going to be filming a new movie." It's the middle of June and it's 95 degrees, and they're up there in Minnesota, and they have to pretend it's wintertime, or in Canada.
And
Most
Canada.
of it is in Canada, and they have to go up there and they have to pretend it's wintertime. That's going to be super hard.
Yeah.
That's going
Uh,
to be absolutely
and
miserable.
then a while back, the friendly man asked, "Did the Hallmark Channel ever put out a horror film or buddy cop comedy?" No, they mostly just have like they're mostly romantic comedies.
But they do put out mystery series.
Yes, they
Yes,
do. They
they
have a
do put out a
mystery
lot. They
channel.
do, yes. And the mysteries are true mysteries. They are. It's sort of
Mhm.
like watching Columbo. Uh, they do portray murders. There
Mhm.
are murders. Um, and then you have to guess along who did it, and who
Yeah.
done it. And
Mhm.
they had the Aurora Tea Garden mysteries, uh, the Martha Vineyard mysteries. That was really good.
Yeah, it was. I
Saw
watched
the
that
fir- I
too.
saw the first one. That movie
Mhm.
fooled me. I thought I had the killer all kit picked out. No,
Right?
no. I was like, what?
Maybe we'll talk about some of the mystery movies too.
I definitely want to talk about some of the mystery movies because because I got a few of the Aurora Tea Garden mysteries, and it was basically trying to find them whenever I could, whenever
Mhm.
Family Video put them on the shelves. I would grab them as soon as they went on sale. So sometimes they were there, sometimes they weren't. Like a lot of times, like all year round, you expecting to get new movies, but
Mhm.
they started like the last year. The only Hallmark movies they put out on the shelves were the Christmas movies.
Right.
So I got Christmas, but I do have a few. I do have a few that yes. I have a lot are just romantic. I have the In Love
Mhm.
trilogy with
Mhm.
because the number one pairing on Hallmark Channel is Lacey Chabert and Brennan Elliott.
Yeah.
That's the number one
I
pairing.
think those two play so well off each other. They also have another movie together besides the murder mystery one. They also played in a couple of movies together.
Yep, they did the crossword mysteries, the crossword
Mhm.
mysteries they did together, and then they did the trilogy of In Love, uh,
Mhm.
which I absolutely adored. That was really good. Um, that had that, and I like how what I really like about Hallmark. A lot of people look at Hallmark, they look down at it, but the fact of the matter is that Hallmark. Um, who would you pair as buddy cops from two different movies? Wow. Yes,
Mhm.
Kevin. Yeah, that's the second trilogy. Yes, the
Yes.
second Wedding Veil trilogy. Yes, the second one. And the third and the final one premiered last night with
Yeah.
Ali Sweeney and Victor Webster.
Yeah, I
Um,
started watching that. So that the other series that I was talking about that she does with what's his name?
Brennan Elliott.
Yeah, Ben and Elliot is called All of My Heart, and it's like a
Mhm.
trilogy movie.
Yes, I have that one, and it's really good. It
And then
featured
All of My Heart, um, so it's like a whole collection also as well that she did with him. And those two
yeah,
play very, very well off each other. I like those two together.
Brennan Elliott is a hell of an actor. I
Yeah,
got
he
to
is.
tell you that right now. He's a hell of an actor. You know, his wife in real life, his wife is very sick, very sick. It's
Mhm.
they don't know. She's been sick for a while now, and he keeps working and he keeps promoting and he keeps. But
Mhm.
you just got to know it's just absolutely. It's got to
Right.
be devastating for him. I mean, that's got to be just
Mhm.
when you see him and you're just like holy crow,
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but the chemistry that he has with Lacey is really warm
Mhm.
and yeah, it's really warm and engaging. And I'm saying that because when we're talking about the first Wedding Veil movie, the first one, um, wow, I got to be honest with you, I've seen Lacey Chabert in many of these movies, and like I mentioned in my review, and I do think this is the case. I think this when she was filming this movie. I think that's when her sister was killed.
Yeah, I
She's
think
either
so.
killed before a little bit beforehand or maybe during half because she
Mhm.
was not here in this movie at all. It was
Right.
when I actually said that, I was like, I said it before I realized
Mhm.
until I thought about it. I just thought she just had a bad day. I thought she was just having
Yeah.
every actor has a bad movie.
Well, you can see from the beginning she was fine. I think it was towards the middle and the end she wasn't in it as
no,
much.
it was so noticeable, wasn't it, Katie?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, yes. It was just like, wow, she's just absolutely not here. She checked out, middle of the movie. And um I mean, and it didn't help either that the script was the weakest of the three.
Yeah,
Um
I agree.
that didn't help them at all. The first script was just absolutely terrible.
Mhm.
It painted Kevin McGarry in a really bad light.
Right, he was kind of a jerk.
I felt bad for him because he wouldn't have been a jerk. I mean, his character they made his character one way,
Mhm.
and it made him they made he seems like a very smart man, and yet they put him in some really stupid, unrealistic situations, and you're just
Mhm.
looking and going like, this is horrible writing. I
Right.
mean. you established the character as being a smart, and then you made him into a dunce, and then combine that with Lacey's real life drama transferring to her acting. And the first of the
Right.
movie, it was a struggle because you felt bad for the people,
Hmm.
felt bad for the actors.
Kevin
I
has
felt bad afterwards. I felt bad after my review because then I
right.
realized I was sitting there going like, I remember her sister dying, and I'm going like, wasn't that about the same time she was making this movie? And then I
Yeah, I
thought,
think so.
I don't, yeah. Then I felt like a little bit of an ass because I didn't think about researching it. But it
Right.
still didn't take away from the fact that it still wasn't that good of a movie, even if Lacey was Lacey, because
Right.
they made the script was so bad,
Hmm.
and they made Kevin McGarry seem such a dunce. I don't know
Yep.
if it would have saved the movie anyway.
Right.
It
And then Kevin asked a question. He said, "Hi, Kevin." He said, "Do- "So do the fourth through sixth movie in this series count as the second trilogy?" I think so, but I'm not sure.
uh oh, now they're talking about Evil Dies tonight.
Mhm. And then Bones just said that it looks like I have a picture of Palatine on my wall.
It does. Yes, Katie is a huge Paladin fan. As you can see, that's a picture of the cheetah right above her head. We couldn't think of a better way to get you into Hallmark mood than to show a cheetah on top of Katie's head.
Should
Um,
have tried to get Emma Jane Slatherland on your show. She used to work for Hallmark, and she directs the Hallmark movie inspired horror movie
Letter
Letters to
to
Santa
Satan
Claus.
Claus. I don't know. Did they? Yeah. Could you imagine if Hallmark actually put out a movie called like that?
They wouldn't, but yeah.
No, no. Um,
No, but I did like the Wedding Veil. I did like the first one, but it was a little bit. I don't know if it was just like the writing or what, but it was a little bit stale to me. But when you go to the second series of this trilogy,
yes.
the one where she's expecting or whatever, that one wasn't. That one was better. I like that one better.
Oh, the second trilogy one. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm sure Lacey's back to being Lacey. I'm sure her performance is, you know,
she was.
she's got a lot more range than people realize. I think a lot of people just typecast her into Hallmark, and I think that's
No,
all that she
no,
can do.
they no, they type cast her as Gretchen from Mean Girls.
Um, yeah, and she did a movie. She did a horror movie that I saw. Actually, she did two horror movies that I saw. Uh, One I reviewed was called like the Giving or Taking Tree or something like that. I would have to tell you, it's in my blog. And she was in that movie, and she was all right in that. And then she did a trilogy with Lou Diamond Phillips, called an anthology with Lou Diamond Phillips called Mausoleum, and she was actually pretty good in that too. And yeah, she's got a little bit more range than people think.
Mm.
I mean, she
Because
might not.
In Mean Girls, she played kind of like the ditzy like character in that one.
um so I mean, and as far as the second film of the original trilogy, um I mean, with we have Autumn Reeser, and you're right,
Mhm.
the second gentleman that played was brand new. His name is Paulo, um Bernardini.
Yeah,
Um, I really loved that second one movie. I think the second one was definitely my favorite of the three.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
uh, it's
yeah, I like that one the most out of all of them.
I thought that it was beautiful. I was really glad that they shot it in Italy. I mean, that for one thing,
Mm-hmm.
that told me they thought enough of the trilogy to spend some money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not always the case for the Christmas movies. The Christmas movies sometimes can be, they're sort of, you could tell that they have a set budget for those Christmas movies. But for
Mm-hmm.
this one here, Hallmark spent some money because this was a big event for them.
I think
You
I
know,
think that's what they were trying to do. I think they were trying to make more money off these ones than like their Christmas movies. So I think that's what it was.
yes. I thought they did a really nice job, though. I mean,
They
the
did.
way that the story was a lot more crisp, even though it was basically from the same writer, the
Hmm.
writer of the first movie, Sandra Berg, Julian Berg, Judith Berg, and the it was based on the book by Laurie Wilde. But
Hmm.
you almost get the sense that they were writing based against how Lacey was feeling,
Hmm.
how her was, because Terry Ingram's a fine director. He's done a lot. He's done a lot of good films for Hallmark. He's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
stern. He's very steady. Um,
Hmm.
but you just wonder, like, how much of the first one really truly was affected. Because
Right.
the second one is night and day. As not as well done. I mean, not it just. I wouldn't say it was a bad movie. The first one was a bad movie. I'm not going to say that because I didn't think it was. I didn't think
Hmm.
I thought the script was just a little soft,
Right.
for the star level involved in it.
Hmm.
But the second one made it all up.
Yeah, I
And,
agree.
um, Autumn
Kevin's saying
Reader.
anytime he sees Lacey Chabert, he's thinking Party 05.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's why a lot of people do that. A lot of people when they see Scott Wolf or Matthew Fox or
Mhm.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah, the Party
But
of
they
Five.
also think Jennifer Love Hewitt though as Ghost Whisperer too.
Yeah. Of course, Matthew Fox did Lost.
He also did
Paul, Paul,
that
yeah,
he
Paul
also
Hall.
did that movie Speed Racer, which sucked.
Oh, God. Do you know the first time I saw the previews for that? I'm not epileptic, but I swear to God, I could have been by the time that first preview went over. Holy
Mhm.
shit, that was too much. Could not
Right.
watch that. Could not watch that preview. It's like so much flashing lights. I was just
Mhm.
like, what are you trying to
I
do?
refused. I watched it one time because this is back when I used to work in a movie theater and I could get to watch free movies in the movie theater. And I watched that movie and that was the last and final time I watched it.
Um, so I mean, the one thing I will say, this sort of sucks though. And tell me if you think about this, Katie. But one thing I don't like about Hallmark and for the public with Hallmark and GAC is the fact that I think a lot of their actors get stereotyped.
They do.
Like it's the only thing people think of them. But if you really break down the cast list and think of what they've done, it's like, like, really? I mean,
Mhm.
there's so many big stars because people say, well, nobody does Hallmark movies, but star
Right.
power wise, they more than hold their own.
Mhm.
Um,
They do.
they really do. Uh, Hallmark has a nice formula. Uh,
Yeah, they do.
as for their movies. Um, what they do is they put their two big stars together, the couple, and then for the most part, they always come up with a big name to go along with it, like supporting it.
Mhm.
Like someone to play the mother or the father.
Right. Yeah.
When I watched the Aurora Tea Garden Mysteries, the two big stars were Candace Cameron Bure and Alexa Doig, and then they had Mary Lou Henner come in to play
Mhm.
the mom. Um,
Yeah.
when I watched Signed, Sealed, and Delivered, they had the four core stars, Crystal Lowe, who we interviewed. Oh, did I say that?
Yes.
Is that a nickel? Okay, so we had Crystal Lowe. Did I tell you she's coming back to the show in February?
No.
That's another nickel, isn't it?
Yep.
You're harsh. Uh,
Yeah.
so they had
I I expect full payment. No, I'm kidding.
well, we had Kristen Booth, we had Eric Mabus, and we have uh, 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 Jeff Gustafson. So so they had their four, and then they
Mhm.
filtered in big stars after that. They
AJ
had
me.
Valerie Harper, Della Reese,
Mhm.
Rob Estes. They had Gregory
Mhm.
Harrison. He's done a lot of those movies.
Yeah,
Gregory
but
Harrison.
Kevin Winnie Cooper went over to the other one now. She's
Yes,
not on
Winnie
Hallmark.
Cooper. Yeah, Winnie Cooper went over to GAC.
Yep.
She left Hallmark and she went over to GAC. Hi, Jamie. How are you? Um, what do you think about hair and makeup in these movies?
They do a
Wow.
great job, I
I,
think.
I
Some
okay.
of them.
Let's put it this way. I don't think there's a color yet that's been found
Hmm.
that wouldn't look top drawer in Allison Sweeney. That woman makes clothes jump. She is absolutely gorgeous in every color.
Hmm.
I mean,
They
she
it
yes.
depends. It depends on what movie you're watching. Some of the makeup can look horrible. Some of it can look good. It just depends.
Um, yeah, the clothes. I mean, the wardrobes for these movies. I mean, I know it's funny. It's, you really don't think about that, but I do. I mean, as a I like watching
Mhm.
wardrobe. I think it's interesting.
I do
I
too.
think I think costuming is really cool. Um, which is why I absolutely loved Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Oh,
Hmm.
the
Right.
clothes in that movie, I could hear my wife in the other room
Right.
whispering to me, going like, "I love them."
Also, also one of the series that's on Hallmark that they did a really good job with, like the way that the clothes are supposed to be is When the Heart Calls. That's a series. It's now
Mm,
finished, but you can watch that on Peacock or Hallmark Channel. They do have reruns, but that's also one of those movies that they got the costumes right, or shows. Sorry, not movies, shows that Hallmark has.
yes, yes. Um, that's the yeah. The wardrobe and these in the first trilogy is spotless. It's really really nice.
Hmm.
Um, the clothes are classy and they're simple and
Hmm.
they're expensive, but yet at the same time they look accessible to the viewer. Like if I'm
Yeah.
sitting there and I'm watching, Victor Webster wear a suit, I could feel like I could probably go out there and get the same suit. I don't feel like they're so overdressed that you just sit there and just like, wow, that would take me a year's worth of money of working
Mhm.
to afford, two suits like that.
Right.
Um, uh, uh,
Yeah,
so
Jamie, we're supposed to get snow later on tonight, so because Jamie only lives like a couple hours from me, so
uh, wow. Clark Family Ventures says that they just witnessed a house fire an hour ago near her home. Wow, that's
well,
terrible. That's terrible.
mhm,
How did you almost burn your house down, Jamie? Barbecuing? Must have been wind.
right?
But barbecuing in the wintertime, grilling in the wintertime, man, that food tastes so much tastes so good.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. It does. So if you ever like we had snow today, but
Hmm.
I went to a tailgate when I was watching a football game once, and we got there early enough to tailgate, but we decided that we were going to do afterwards, so all the traffic can just go away, and by time we would leave, it'd be over with. So that's what we did. Man, that food was so good, real good. Um, so yeah, the locations for the first for the second movie was in Italy. Um, they meet cute, which is it's a Hallmark staple. They meet really cute, and
Hmm.
the way they connect, the chemistry between Autumn and Paulo um was really good. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people commented that they didn't think the chemistry between Lacey and Kevin McGarry was all that good, but I think there were circumstances that we covered involved in that.
Mhm.
I'm sure that they're it's in the second movie
It
that
is.
I'm sure
You
it's much better.
you see their relationship unfold in the second movie in the new trilogy. You see it unfold because I watched the first two, and before I hopped on here, I watched like maybe like 15-20 minutes of the new one where they're in Greece
Mm,
that just came
yeah.
out last night.
I can't wait. I can't wait for them. I can't wait to see what they do for the second one. For the second one, but for the first one, they said in Italy, in Verona, Italy, it was beautiful. The locations were beautiful. The colors were
Mhm.
beautiful. They
Yeah.
filmed it with the waterways in Venice. The waterways, the
Hmm.
colorful houses. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and it was such a heartwarming story too. And I
Yeah.
really I like the history of the Vale too. I had that little bit of mysticism to it. I
Yeah.
wish it had been a little bit more,
Mhm.
but I like the
Oh,
mystery too.
you see it in the newer trilogy that it has a little more value and stuff. You see
Oh,
it
okay,
in the first one with Lacey, The Expectations, I think it's called, something
right,
like that. That one you see more about the veil, and then there's more of like how they found out that the guy that um Autumn's married to is who made the veil. So you find that out, and then there's like this like other stuff that goes with the veil that they put on display in that first movie.
okay. Um,
And the new series, and the new series. Well, it's
oh,
not
the
really a new series, but it's a series altogether.
continuation. The third movie, that which is the Wedding Veil, the legacy, the legacy of the veil itself. It takes us back because they're the premises that the three girls, they all go shopping, they all meet once a year for a
For
reunion,
antiquing.
and then they go to antiquing and they have lunch and they have spend a weekend together and renewing their friendship, and then they all go back to their parts of the world. And so they when they get the veil, they give it to Lacey's character first, and then they give it to Autumn Reeser's second, and then the third movie was probably a little bit more spicy than the other two, to tell you the truth. Like Allie Sweeney's character was a little bit, like it was her turn to have the veil, and she really didn't want the veil. She was sort of like, she didn't really, she really didn't, Tracy didn't want the veil. That's her
Right.
character's name. Tracy didn't really want it. She saw what happened, and she thought she already had a perfect life already. But of course, we know that as soon as that guy was started talking about his career, um,
Yeah.
the opening was just a little bit soft with that. I thought. I mean, it's like the the guy, her boyfriend at the time, when it opens the movie, he sees how much that she's entrenched in New York. Like, this
Mhm.
is where she lives, that this is her job, everything else. I don't understand, couldn't understand why those two were together underneath those circumstances. Like, he hadn't got
Right.
a job yet, and he hadn't gotten a job around New York, and he probably wasn't going to get one. I
Right.
just didn't understand why they were still together, because you knew damn well that there's no way that Tracy was going to give up her whole life to go with him to Los Angeles or
Right.
anywhere. Uh,
He because she's a big shot. That's why he wanted her to support him.
I think he wanted to support himself, but he wanted to play in an orchestra, and it was like he couldn't get inside the New York ones,
Right.
and so he had to go wherever he had to go. But
Right.
they had to know that going in, like, she was going to be like, look, I'm here for you, I'm supporting you, but there's no way in hell I'm giving up what I already have. If
Right.
it's like, so, I don't. You wonder why they're even together, because it made no
Mhm.
logical sense for them to be together,
Right.
unless
I
unless
agree with
he
you.
unless he decided to take unless he decided to take a job in New York.
Right.
So of course, he gets a job in Los Angeles, and those two break up. And I did like the way that Tracy and the guy she meets, who's played by Victor Webster.
Mhm.
Um, Victor Webster he played Nick, the restaurateur. Now, I knew Victor Webster probably before I knew anybody else on Hallmark, because I follow Victor, because he was in a movie called he was in a TV
Right.
series called Mutant X.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Matthew says he watched all 4 seasons of 21 Jump Street. Yes,
Oh, wow.
that would be different. All for Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember Richard Grieco was supposed to be the big star of 21 Jump Street. He played Booker, and they were going to make
Right.
him into the star, and yet Johnny Depp was the one that became famous, and Richard Grieco did not.
Yeah.
Yep. Um, so Victor Wester did a superhero series back in the late '90s called Mutant X, which
Mm-hmm.
starred Victor and Victoria Pratt and March Forbes and Karen Klisch, who we interviewed on 8 Questions with. Damn it. Sorry. That just slipped
You're
out.
just gonna have to give me money after here.
What can I say? See, look at all the connections. See, look at all the Hallmark connections. Um, so yeah,
I I would love to get like Autumn Reeser or someone like that and interview them.
yeah.
I'm gonna try to reach out to them and see if I can't.
I'm trying. I'm trying. It's like right now I'm trying to get Kristen Booth. That's who I want to interview. I want to interview Kristen Booth, and then I would give my IT to talk to Marianne Williamson. I'm name dropping, Jamie. I'm I'm dropping names of the people I've interviewed. So every time I mention it, I have to pay a nickel to the kitty.
Right.
Um, yeah, well, that's a good thing though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it so Victor Webster. Uh, let's see. Matthew saying, where were you in the '80s? Yes, '80s and '90s. '90s were really fun too. Yes, yeah. I think I've already put in a quarter already.
No, I think you're up to like $1.50, maybe
But
maybe
I was only
more.
supposed to be a nickel. I haven't mentioned it that much,
Yeah, you have.
have I?
Yeah.
Damn.
You owe me $1.50. No, I'm kidding.
Here comes Sean's here. His Eagles won yesterday, so I'm
Hey,
sure
Sean.
Sean will be in the best of moods today. I am rooting for a Bengals and Eagles Super Bowl this year. Because it'll be fun to watch the fur fly. Uh yeah, it's gonna be whoever whatever the Super Bowl is gonna be, it's gonna be awesome. So the third movie, they meet, and they actually meet talking football. That's so funny that we were talking football because that's how Nick and Tracy meet in the third movie because
Yep.
she goes to get the veils repaired
Hold on, I'll be
and she
right
starts
back.
talking about football with Nick.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll be right
that
back.
yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Um so yes, they start talking football and that was yeah, that was a really cute way for them to meet. And then when Tracy she cuts in line with the haberdasher, she roots for the same team that he does. But at the end, when she walks out after going ahead of Nick, she says what her real team is. Yes, foosball for the devil. Foosballs of the devil. Um, but Victor Wester started out as a more like an action hero. Besides doing Mutant X, he also did a pair of Scorpion King movies too for Universal, where he played the Scorpion King. And so he done some action movies, and then he started doing some Hallmark movies, and the fans really enjoyed watching him on screen. A lot of these actors that get cast in these roles, really the network listens to the fans. That's absolutely without a doubt true. um, if you go to, not saying that they cast everything, but they do have some influence on what we see. As far as the pairings go, um, there are some pairings that do happen because the fans want them. Like everybody, that's why you'll see the same couple over and over and over again. It's not because they're, like they don't have other stars, but because the fans love seeing like Brennan Elliott and Lacey Chabert. That's why you see them a lot in all these different types of movies, different type of roles, because the fans will come out and watch that more than not. Uh, Um, it's that's right. Um, let's see. So that's for the third movie too. That's also, like I said, it's the sharpest written, it's sharply written. It has the wittier banter than the other two. Between Nick and Tracy, it's a lot more and adds a little bit of spice to it too, because the girls all meet, all fly into for a meeting, to see each other, and they push Tracy about the veil, about her being be the third one to fall in love and to get married, and Tracy is not really all about that, and in a really rare, you really don't see this sort of thing in a Hallmark movie, but they allow her character to really show anger. She doesn't really want to be teased about this or picked on, and they allow her character to basically say that, saying, leave me the hell alone. I don't want to hear this. I'm not in the mood for this. I don't really want to be picked on. And it's sort of sort of a bit of a surprise, because you never really see that kind of tension in a Hallmark movie. You'll see disagreements, but you'll never see somebody actually genuinely angry. Um, and it was really interesting to see, and it was real life. It's sensed it like it was real life. Of course, they all get together they all make up. They all apologize, and she apologizes to her friends, and they apologize, and then the love story continues. So the goal is, at the end of every movie in the Wedding Veil trilogy, that every of the girls, Lacey, and then Autumn, and then Allie, they all get married by the end of the movies. Um, and so they each have a successful life and going forward. Now, I was curious to see what they would do for the second trilogy, because to do that again, like, you let them all with a happy ending. Are you going to come in? And this is one thing I did appreciate a lot in the trilogy, is they did not go to that old trope of, in the third act, of the ex-boyfriend coming in. Um, they didn't do that, which is really refreshing, because that's so tired. Nobody wants to see that. It's the ex-girlfriend. It's the ex. Um, the first movie was the only one that had that sort of vibe, and again, that movie was not the strongest written. It just didn't. It just wasn't very well written. Um, the other two were much better and a lot more smarter. If you watched a Katharine Hepburn movie, Katharine Hepburn, Spencer Tracy, Claude Colbert, and not Claude Colbert. Oh gosh, I'll probably have a brain toot here. Yeah, I can do it. There's many couples from the Barbara Stanwyck, and just about anybody that she was paired up against, Barbara Stanwyck, um, Myrna Loy, William Powell. They all had the real smart and witty dialogue, and the second and the third movie has that. The first one does not. And like I said, it's the weakest of the three. Uh, but you're wondering what they're going to do for the second trilogy. It's out right now. They just premiered the last of the trilogy, of the second trilogy, yesterday. I'm sure. I'm sure there will be one more next year. Um, I do. I do think there will be one more trilogy set for next year. Why not? If the formula works, why not use it? So, yeah, that's the Veil trilogy. Uh, I definitely, even if you're not, like I said, even if you're not a Hallmark fan or per se, but let's say you're sitting there with your wife or your husband, your significant other. Katie had mentioned that you could catch these shows on Peacock. I recommend it. If you got the Hallmark Channel, I recommend watching the trilogy. I think it's smart and a lot of fun. And who doesn't like a little romance? So as far as this series go, we're thinking about doing something like this once a month. Talk about a movie that's not a horror movie per se. It might not always be a Hallmark movie. It might be something else. It might be Disney. It might be whatever. Um, but uh, if it's something that you guys would like to see, we'd love to hear your feedback on it. Obviously, you guys showed up for this show here. We appreciate it. I was wondering if you guys, after we're done, if you guys could go ahead and drop a comment down below, and if there's a movie that's non-horror or non-action that you'd like to see covered, drop that down in the comment section too. We would like to talk about it. Like I said, we'll cover romance, we'll cover drama, we'll cover mystery. Um, yeah, you know what though? There is water on Mars, and there's a lot of fun. There are a lot of fun Hallmark movies, including the mystery ones. Yes, they do have, like I said, they do have series that feature mysteries, murder mysteries. They have tons of series. So let us know what you think. If you'd like to see a Hallmark mystery series, let us know that too. And we will bring one out next month, and we will talk about it. That's a lot of fun. Um, I don't know where Katie went. I hope she didn't get fur in her head from the paladin. Um, yeah, you can get Hallmark movies as far as securing them for your collections. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on eBay. Um, just be careful when you're buying them new. They are a little bit pricey. I'm not going to lie to you about that. If you go out there, you might be paying a little. If you see this for $26 or $27,
Sorry.
you don't really want to pay that for this. You definitely want to look for. There are Hallmark movies out there. Don't go to Hallmark.com and get them through there because they will be expensive. That's one thing. That's one thing I have to say about it. When I went to the Hallmark card shops,
Hmm.
boy, I was like, they were charging boutique prices for their movies. Like a single Hallmark TV movie, they were charging like 26, $27 for DVD. It was like, I'm not paying that. Yeah. Um, but yeah, you can find them. Where did you get yours? Did you find this on eBay or Amazon?
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So, yep. So there are Hallmark movies to be had. Um, so I was just telling them that we were planning to do this once a month, and to leave suggestions down in the comment box of what they'd like to see. And next month we will do this over on Katie's channel. And knowing Katie, I'm sure that we'll probably be getting some Disney, some Mousepiration,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Of course, there's all sorts of fun things you could do with Disney. You got Disney itself, a lot of classics.
Yep.
You got Pixar movies. Those are always good to talk about. They're fun. Um, and they have TV series as well. Disney made a lot of TV series, and so if you're interested in that with us, talk about anything other than horror, just let us know.
Yeah. I'm always willing. Sorry, I had to leave for a second.
It's okay. Do you have anything in closing?
No. I just enjoy the series, and I just really like Hallmark. And maybe next time we'll talk about something different, or whatever we decide we want to talk about next time, either on my channel or your channel. It will be like a Sunday series type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is fun. This is a perfect time to do this Sunday
Mhm.
afternoon. We will let everybody know the movie that we're doing. We'll definitely do that. Uh, Me and Katie, will we put it up there? One of the things you guys can do too is not to miss, if you don't want to miss a live stream, is to go to each one of our channels and hit the notification bell for everything that we do upcoming live streams. Hit the notification bell. It says notify me. When we go
Mhm.
live, you'll know it. Just the best thing that you could possibly do for that. to let people know when you go live is hit that notify me. Every time you hit it, you will be notified. I have yet to miss anybody's live stream if I hit the notify button.
Yep, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
And like the stream because it can get out to more viewers as well, even after it turns into a video.
So we do thank you for coming out, hanging out with us on a Sunday, snowy Sunday afternoon. And yeah, um, anything but horror. That's right. We're not going to be doing horror. We're not going to be doing action. We are going to be doing comedy. We'll be doing maybe doing a cartoon, maybe doing some animation, maybe doing rom-coms, dramas. Who knows? But we will not be doing action or adventure or horror movies. We are going to, because everybody else is doing it. Nobody's doing this. So we're it. We're the last line, the only line.
Yes, I
And
agree.
I want to be able to see next time we do this if I can make it through without costing myself $1.50. I might not be able to because I'm going to be talking about my interview with Crystal next time we talk. So I'll also just pay you my $1.50 now. You got anything? Oh, let's talk about our channels real quick because we could do this. What do you got coming on your channel, Katie?
I don't have anything going on right now. I just been guest on other people's channels just because I'm in the process of moving. So I probably won't have any content out for at least like about a month or so.
Where do you begin your long trek south?
So the moving company is coming on Wednesday or Thursday.
Wow. And so, will you be going back to will you be going back where you came from, or are you going to be going to a different part of Florida? Okay.
No, where I'm from.
Okay, that'll be awesome. Me, God. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I have coming on. I should just give you a nip.
Are you doing the Midnight Society tonight?
Yes, I'm doing the Midnight Society tonight. I'm covering Martyrs.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Martyrs today. The French version.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I'll go listen to you talk about it.
Yeah, that will be a horror movie. So if you come back tonight at 8 o'clock to the Midnight Society, I will be going from Hallmark movies and love and romance to French horror movies. Hi, Anna. How are you? Yeah, so that will be happening tonight. On Tuesday, I will be talking to stuntman actor Brian Dodds will be here with us on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have we have director, screenwriter Jim Heffernan coming on. He did 2 awesome movies, one called The Angry World of Brian Webster and Destroy All Sisters, which is absolutely a hoot. And on next Thursday, we will be talking with, let me see who I try to get this down right. Next Thursday, we will be talking to, I have so many. Oh, that's right. I can't mistake that. I'll be talking to our good friend Mike Markoff will be here with us, and he will be talking about one of his latest movies he's just got done filming called Hitman, which stars Glenn Powell, who did Top Gun Maverick and Devotion. So Mike Markoff will be here with us next Thursday. And Mikey has also done a superb Western called The Legends of Hawes, which he was filming the last time he was here, but now it's out and getting good reviews. So we will be talking to Mike about that and his other films that he's got coming up. He is very, very busy, and this could be the year that breaks for him. We think that this will be the year that he breaks. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. That's it. That's what I got.
Nice.
Thanks for coming out, and we will see you next month for not a horror movie. All right. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Peace. Oh, hang on, Katie.